All right. Let's see if we are actually live on Twitter. Do
I
you guys
can
still call
now.
it Twitter, or are you like the? Nah, I'm just gonna call it X.
I
What do you
can't
guys
call it
do?
X. It doesn't make sense to me. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like I should call it X, then Twitter. Like I don't know. I haven't really decided. Like what should I call it? But
I just say both. Twitter X.
Twitter X.
you said both. Like Twitter. Okay, let me post this.
I'm just quote tweeting right now. Um,
All right.
uh,
What's your
and
handle? Plushwin. Plushwin. There we go.
okay, I think we're good. Let's go. Plushie Collector is here. First one in. LF Plush. Hello. Thank you for joining us here. Logan's a bit preoccupied right now with just getting everything posted to get some more peeps in.
Yes, yes, yes. You can take care of the yapping whilst I finish this setup.
Oh, I can
Okay.
yap all hour. It's a no nothing for me.
This is
But
gonna
I
be
hope
an
you
interesting session. Yes, 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 yes.
guys. This is I think the first time the Plooshies is actually going live in an Asian friendly time zone. So super excited about that. Because now it gives us an opportunity to introduce Gwyn, who is actually our lead creative director and also one of the main core artists who's been working on the Plooshies since the beginning. And I
Yeah.
think we have a lot of fun stuff to grind him about today.
Yeah,
Gwyn, would you like to?
this is gonna be interesting. Sorry about that, but
Mm,
because I mean, this is gonna be a new format for you guys that are familiar with the streamings that we tend to do, whether that be on Wednesday or Thursday, where we have called the other 3D artists, and whether that be our guests who might be founders, builders, KOLs, or community members. This time we want to do something a bit different. Today we're gonna kickstart this ongoing series that will be every Tuesday with Bam Bam, myself, and obviously the main character Godwin, which is the main artist of the Plooshies, the lead 3D artist. We want you guys to get to know the creative genius that Godwin is, because we wouldn't be here without him, to be honest. Like he's the one who created the beautiful plushes, the beautiful 3D art. So I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for you guys to get to know Godwin. So feel free to drop any question that you have. This is going to be a yapping session starting next week. You're going to see how Godwin creates really cool stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, go for it.
I'm super excited for this. I think our community is going to have a lot of questions for Gwen here. But to start us off, Gwen, why don't you like introduce yourself a little bit? Just, who are you? Like, we want to know more about the person who created the plushies, the whole idea behind it.
Yeah. Well, let's start off right. My name is, you know, um, can call me Gwyn here. Yes. But my real name is Godwin, and I'm from Indonesia. So my father is British. My mother is Indonesian. That's where I got my English name. But anyway, yeah. So since I was a child, I always loved drawing. Um,
Mm.
I would often just grab chalk and just draw all over the floor.
Oh, I love
My grandma's house doesn't matter whose house it is. I'll
that.
draw there, and so even the Asian setting, yes, back then, like there's a lot of the tiles are usually very kind of like black rough tiles, so very easily drawn on with chalk,
Yeah.
and I won't allow anybody to step on them. Nobody can step on them. um, Fast forward to as I grew up. I just grew to love art more. And the thing with me is that I don't just kind of like focus on one thing. Like, if I like it, I'm gonna try them out. So, I mean, I already touched 3D stuff. I mean, I like back when I was in high school. Yeah,
Damn.
and I do some sculpting too. I do painting, real painting on canvas, and I also do digital painting. So I kind of do them all. Um, and in college, I majored in graphics design. Yes, visual communication, and I even did videography. In fact, I won like multiple awards. Like I was a national
Oh wow.
competition winner for a 3D character design. That was in high
Nice.
school. Oh, sorry, hold on. I'll be right back. There's a
No worries. But I mean, I'm
I
surprised to learn that you're also part British, Godwin. So am I.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
With American.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
half British with an American accent, which is a very interesting combo. So
yeah, like you definitely like you use what did you say you were?
I'm half English and half Thai, but people say I have an Australian accent, so
you kind of do. So this is actually kind of
English.
curious though, because it feels like, did you spend some time like whether that, I don't know, Sydney, Melbourne, like at all? Interesting.
no, no. I think it's the
Oh,
mix of
okay. That would have been like no. So I guess I can see that now.
yeah.
Yeah, the
I think it's the English accent, like the Brit accent, plus a little bit of Asian culture. And
Mm.
it's just I don't know what happened, but this is what we have. Like this is what we're working with right now.
This is what we're working with, hey?
yeah, yeah. Our accents are all over the place.
Mm.
But
The
yeah,
mixed
so
babies, we're just
Yep.
confused.
yeah, so yeah, I won the competitions with 3D in national competition when I was in high school. I won a movie competition when I went to college, also national level, and yeah, I do them all. I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I'd say one thing. Oh, Bogan, go ahead.
yeah, it's interesting because you're telling us about like these sort of competitions that you won at a very early age. Do you reckon there was sort of like, something that really motivated you to like pursue something later on in life? Because you were like, okay, maybe I'm actually quite talented at this. Maybe I should pursue something. Did you get support from your family, your friends? How was that whole process? Because I can tell you, like, for instance, my experience with the stuff that I'm doing at the moment, like, even when choosing a bachelor's degree, like, it was something different. Like, even when I wanted to study something, my parents were like, nah, you shouldn't be pursuing this stuff. But for you, I feel like it's different, right? With, with creatives, with artists. How was that for you?
Interesting question. I guess I don't really have a specific. I am thinking as like just want to be this, and
Mm,
then like I said, like I guess my idea was going to graphics design, right?
mm,
Considering like what I majored in college, but here's the thing: when you got certain, like winning those competitions, then suddenly you're tagged with that subject. You know what I mean? So eventually, like no matter what I prefer, like I will always people will always come up to me like, hey, I got a job for you. It's 3D, right? Because you're a 3D artist. Yes. Well, yeah, but like in high school, I did. But all right, and it keeps happening. Like oftentimes like that. Like this one time, like um, Same thing with like movies, things like that. Like people would approach to me like I need someone to help me out. For example, that's how I got into making the documentaries, like this kind of like a um, like I became a cinematographer for
Mhm.
quite some time because of my background winning movie competition, and people just keep coming through me to me for like, hey, we got this project, right? We need your help with it, and including like, oh, we need visual effects.
Mm.
That's what I did. That's how I also won the competition, because I did VFX on it. Well, nobody else does that kind of thing back then, especially on my level, yes, or age group.
Mm.
So eventually, that's just how it is. So even if I want, like, I posted, I'm a graphic designer,
Mhm.
right? And people just still come up to me. I need a 3D artist. Can you help me out? Let's think about this way, right? When
Yeah.
go back like that, when I met Hendrik and Jan, let's start with
Mhm.
that.
Mm.
I started with a portfolio, and my portfolio was mainly supposed to focus at first with graphic design and 2D animation.
Yeah.
Because 2D animation, something that doesn't require too much hardware requirements and stuff. So yeah, this is me. 2D animations, motion graphics, right?
Mm.
Simple advertising and things like that. They came up to me, all right, they gave me some project. They saw like I did 3D stuff, right? And
Mm.
then they say, oh, I like this, all right, can you do 3D stuff for us? And now, as you notice, right, everybody here noticed me like, oh, the lead artist, and he's a 3D expert.
Mm.
I guess I'm just following the flow in a way, yeah.
I love that. You just gotta go with the flow sometimes, you know. I understand the whole thing about kind of like sometimes wanting to try out other stuff, like wondering, hey, what else is out there for me? And but you always end up going back to, I guess, what you know best, or what you know you can do best, because that's what people around you need. That's, like a place. There's a place in the world for the talent that you have, and I think you've done it perfectly. And I'm sure a lot of people in this space would agree.
Yeah, and I do kind of eventually kind of position myself with the idea,
Mm.
like a lot of professionals out there kind of follow this idea that you gotta be focused on one subject only, right?
Mm.
And if you just focus on that, you become a professional on that, right? In my case, because of my extensive background, I thought like maybe you don't have to just focus on one, right?
Mm.
Because especially in this modern times, like there's a lot of what's called mixed media kind of thing where you need multiple expertise
Yeah.
sometimes, right? Like some of the latest 3D, animations like Puss in Boots
Mm.
is a mix of 3D, but at the same time, there's like a painterly look, right?
Yeah.
Someone's gotta know how to do brush strokes to make that.
True.
So that's where I think like being a generalist actually is even more valuable these
Mm.
days compared to like 10 years ago or even further back. Because like,
Definitely. Nowadays, I was just say nowadays we need people who can do like a bunch of different stuff. Like I'll, bring up our CEO here as an example. This guy does everything. So
Except for
so
the art. That's where I'm lacking, eh? Like honestly, like I'm
hey,
not good at it. I don't think I will ever get good at it. Not even if I convince Win or Cole to give me like one-on-one lessons. I'm not gonna be good at it. I can tell you that.
Logan, I'm sure you can make a meme or two. Like I have
Nah,
complete.
honestly, it's funny that you mentioned that because now with Canva, which by the way happens to be an Australian company, I remember
Mhm.
that I was using Canva back in my Web2 job a long time ago. I never expected that I was gonna be using Canva because every now and then I use it, all right, for like stuff that I put on my X profile or whatever, Twitter X, like Godwin calls it. Um, but yeah, I mean, Canva made things way easier for me.
Mhm. I'd say Canva is like Photoshop plus
Mm,
PowerPoint plus everything else you may need, like just combined into
yeah.
one. I
Yep.
use it
Yep. Yep.
religiously on. Okay. So Gwyn, we've gone through a little bit of background. I think we need to get into a bit more of the juicy stuff. We have like I think almost 190 listeners with us right now,
Hmm.
who have been enjoying your story so far. But it's time for the main question. How did the plushies come about? Like what inspired you to create the plushies?
Well, firstly, I can't take all the credit for this. I mean,
Mm,
John
mm,
and Hendrik,
uh-huh.
they're a big part of it too. Um, like before we started this project, like we were thinking, we don't really know where we're going. We kind of like thought of like let's make a meme
Mm.
project. So I made
Yeah.
like a horse face with silly looking face thing. I don't know if you guys know that one, but then
That's a new one for me. I'm actually kind
I
of
did
keen to
not
see
know
that
that.
horse face too, mate.
I would
Like,
like to see it.
that's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Send it over.
uh, oh yeah, maybe we can find it first, yes, because that was a while ago. But and then like John thought of an idea where how about like marbles, where we kind of like have like a game and like collecting marbles with different kind of unique looks to it. I can't remember who was it who eventually got the idea of animal characters like plushes. We kind of like do some research of what people like, right? What's the
Mm,
market like at the time?
Hmm.
Because cute stuff, and especially Hendrik having experience with the pudgy penguins thing, right? So they're like, why don't we make like a cute animal thing?
mm,
And from there, I started making concepts, and I think either Jan or something, thought of let's start with like a red panda,
mm,
Mm.
and okay, red panda as reference, I start to create a character, and from there we kind of iterate, like make it like this one, like make the head bigger, and that's how we got the Plooshies. Yes, so it's kind
I
of
love
like a no one event and some new light bulbs, not really.
Mm.
Yeah, step by step.
Because
it.
I think something that really stands out about the IP, right? Obviously, the quality is top notch. Like when you zoom in, you can see the textures pretty well. But one of the things that I've been getting, that sort of feedback is that they're so cute because the head is so big and the body is so tiny that you don't really get to see that, right? Like you would think like at first when you explain that as that, right? Like big head, small body, you're like, this is not gonna work out. Like it just makes no sense, right? Like why would that make sense? But when you look at it, when you look at the different animals that you created and stuff, starting with the red panda, which is ultimately one of the main characters of the Plooshies universe, if you want to call it that way, it's like, dude, it makes so much sense now, right? Because we're more familiar with the IP, but yeah, it really stands out because it's such a big head, right? Like it's so big compared to the small body. So when did you kind of like, or maybe you or Jan or Henrik were like, you know what, maybe we should go this direction with all the concepts that you were creating, and you were like, okay, this is the one that we think that's going to resonate with people.
Mm,
Yeah, so like in my case, I already started out. I think the concept it has a pretty big head, right? Taking it into kind of like inspiration from Asian style, anime and what we
Mm.
know chibi, right? And from there, kind of like I made the art. It was already pretty big, but John started like, you know what? Make the head bigger, a bit bigger, bigger.
bigger.
That's
Make it bigger.
huge. But hey, like it's still within the scope of what's like a chibi is. Like if you know, I don't know if you know this. Like it's a word they use
Yeah.
where caricatures of characters and tends to usually have very big heads and small bodies. Now, what's
Mm.
interesting is that within the like within if we talk about that, like if it's 2D, right? It's pretty common. You see that. Right? And it works in 2D and because like you can draw and in your perspective can I just use tricks there? But with 3D, this is where issue comes in, right? These characters' heads are so big. Now we try to implement it into like a narrative.
Mm.
The most basic actions becomes troublesome. Like I can't just make the character pick up a camera and hold it in front of them. There'd be like they have to stretch their arms so far
Mm.
off that it looks like weird. Like the arms just becomes like a noodle. Yeah. So um, with that, I think the challenge is just have to find a way to go around that.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just to
Oh,
say I absolutely love that. I mean, I'm quite familiar with the concept of chibi and everything, especially if you're kind of like a fan of like manga and stuff. You'll see it around Japanese culture and everything a little bit. But the way you guys actually implemented it, like there's a classic chibi where it's like big head, tiny like kid body, big eyes, and then like got this always like cat emotions, like the swirly mouth and stuff like that. But
nice.
yeah, it actually being implemented in the plushies, it's not like completely chippy. It's like taking inspiration from the best parts of it, but then implementing all this other dope stuff. Like I'd say one thing I love the most about the plushies is like that cute little heart in the mouth. Like you wouldn't
Mm.
even notice it at first, but then you zoom in a little bit, and you can zoom in because, like you said, Bogan, like the quality is top notch. But you zoom in, and then you see a little heart in your NFT
Mm.
that's smiling at you, and you're just like, I love you too, like
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought out about that hot thing. Actually, it
Hmm.
was natural. Like it's like, oh, this is cute. Oh, this is cute. Like I'm just gonna make it. Like, I mean, considering also like my background, my
Mm-mm.
preference is more on edgy stuff.
Mm.
So like
Mm.
I like drawing, creating, designing monsters, creatures, robots,
Mm.
like that. So
Imagine the superheroes fighting against the monsters that you've created, or something like that. Um, we can have Pepe the Hero and sidekick Penelope fighting against these guys. Hey.
yeah,
We
I think you'd be able to see an example of that in my Instagram. Yeah,
Mm.
like
What's your
like
well,
Instagram so we can drop it in the comments?
oh,
yeah.
it's at Grayofic. So
Uh,
GRO
uh-huh.
it's
GRO. Uh-huh.
GRAOFIK.
So GRAOFYK.
IK.
IK. Okay.
I think I got it, and I just dropped it into the comments. So guys, check out his Instagram. I want to
It's
see what's up.
honestly it's empty. It's barely there. Because to be honest, I only just started making that Instagram
Mm.
when like I was just going to start building it, and when work started coming in,
Mm.
and then Hendrik and Jan came in, and I didn't touch it ever since. So yeah, it's just barely
Okay.
there.
Excuse me. I'm seeing. I don't even know if you can see it on my screen
Yeah, we
right
can
now.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but whoa! Look at this.
You know what I should
Imagine if
do?
a plush was fighting this.
At the top, if you at the very top, you'll find the. There you go. There it is.
Wow,
You can slide it.
guys.
There's three of them. There's three pictures.
Oh, this guy is dope. Noise. Give this Instagram account a follow, guys. Just followed myself.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess that's the thing, like
I'm sharing it, by the way.
I love
what?
that. You turn this into an NFT plushie airdrop. I would be down
Oh my goodness.
to receive this. Yeah, I mean, on the topic of airdrops and stuff, like, like I know that you were the one who worked on the Dragon for New Year's as well. I know that you worked on a bunch of other stuff that I'm not sure I can disclose right now. That's coming out soon. Um, so
Mm.
just kind of because your actual style is so different from the Plooshies currently. What sort of goes through your mind when you're actually creating content or creating some sort of asset for the Plushie?
Not much, because that's the thing. Like I try to, build myself as a professional generalist,
Mm,
right?
mm, mm,
So by that, like the philosophy is like I can't just I like horror, I like monsters, right? Doesn't
mm,
mean
Mm.
I shouldn't be able to make something cute, right? I'm
mm.
very capable of that. I mean, I can think cute, you
Okay,
know.
okay.
So there's nothing really in particular. I mean, I love it. I like doing all these things. So
Um,
yeah.
fair, fair. Like I tend to find myself the most creative when I'm thinking of random stuff or nothing at all as well. But Gwyn, I have like a very important question for you. So I think within last week we launched a video of some of the new team members, well, including Bogan and Hendrik as well, asking them what their favorite plushie was. And like we all answered it, but you weren't in the video. So you, as the creator of all the 3D assets, I want to know what your favorite plushie is.
It's hard to say, but if I have to choose, it's either
Mm-mm.
Penelope, but I think I like Fox, the
Oh
Fox.
my god, yes, yes,
Okay?
yes. I win. I win. I don't competition, but I win because I chose the fox too.
I don't know where keeping scores, but okay, that's two for Fox. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean the fox is so cute. I love Penelope. I love all the other ones, of course, they're all adorable. But the fox, she just seems a bit sneaky, and I love that. Like
yeah.
Silo.
It's the two tone of white and orange.
Mm,
Just works. I mean, like reddish orange. So
mm,
yeah.
love that. That. Logan, how do you feel about that? I know your favorite plushie is your plushie.
I mean, it's like the story with my plushie is very interesting because I've bought every single plushie that I own and the ones that I've traded and stuff. The only one that I got from the team back then was a plushie that I'm using as my profile picture. I really
Mm,
wanted something like clean and simple. I've always, been, a dog lover. I love dogs. I've had multiple ones, and
mm,
it's just super cute and clean, just a nice crown. That was it for me. But then after that, right, shortly after that, maybe like a week or two, I actually found the one that if I wouldn't have that one, making that my digital, identity, that could
yeah.
be my PFP. And it's actually, I love, it's another dog, but the other version, the Greyhound dog with a wizard hat. I
Mm,
just love how it looks like even when I'm testing the game, that's the one that I'm choosing to play the game because I know that it looks so good. uh, but yeah, I
Um,
mean, I would always choose, the dogs, even if I know that the red panda is super cute, the fox is also incredibly cute. I would say
mm,
the bears are also quite good. I prefer the polar bear to the brown bear.
mm,
Um, but yeah, I mean, even the if I that's just as plushy, right? But in terms of trades, I don't know about you, Godwin or Bam Bam. Which one is your favorite trade in our collection, or which one, or for you, Godwin, like creating them?
mm.
Which one was your favorite when you were creating them?
which one was my favorite when I was creating them?
Mm.
You go back to Fox, I guess. No,
Classic, just a body trait.
I mean, like creating and choosing all the characters, it takes a long time, right? Um, and obviously, when I first started, it was just we just had like three basics here. I
Yeah.
think it was panda. There is the dog. I can't remember exactly what was it. Cat, I believe, or was it something else? But Red Panda is definitely the very first. That's why it's the face of the brand, right?
He's the
Uh,
OG.
there we kind of iterate, right? Like considering how small the team was, we gotta find ways on how to kind of like um, expand upon what we have, but we still have to make sense. Um,
Mm,
with the man hours needed for it and all that. So it's not
yeah.
like we already have these basic shapes. Like how can we expand from what already exists? Like so the red panda, I mean, can make that look like a fox.
Yeah.
I just try it out. Like I put it out and okay, I'm gonna texture this way. I'm gonna texture this. Oh, it turns out like this. And then we
Mm,
got a dog. I'm gonna iterate on that. And then okay, I can make a bear shape with the base mesh we have. Okay, we have a
mm.
bear now. That's just how it goes.
Absolutely love that. I mean, all of the different characters, you can see that some of them, it's like they have their own like counterparts. You have the fox, and then you have the red panda, you have the two bears, you have the two dogs, and I actually think like I like that, because it's like people can choose like a preference between whatever shape they want, but it's still all together collectively like these cute adorable animals that resemble each other in some sort of way. And another thing I'll note is, on the topic of just like favorite traits, props to you on the kimono. I absolutely love it. I may be half Brit, but I identify very strongly with my Asia side. And just seeing a kimono in the collection, it was heartwarming. It's like, hey, it's so cute. It's Asian. I have that. It's one of my favorite plushies. So I mean, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's good. That one was a bit tough for me to make. Like kimono, right? I mean, I might be
Mm,
Asian. We're Asian, but I'm
mm-mm.
Indonesian. I'm far away from Japan, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to research it as possible. But the texture in particular, finding the right one. That was, but yeah, I really liked it too. I mean, I didn't expect what I made was gonna look that nice.
Props,
I was
props
not,
to
I was not confident at all. Um, but eventually I got it right, so that's good.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. So you really did a good job there. And before we move on to like some more fun questions that I see in the comments, Bogan, you just said that you choose a specific character when you're testing the game
Yeah, I
live
sure do.
stream. We need to talk more about that. That's what people are waiting to hear.
Look, I feel like there are certain traits in our collection that look really good in the game, right?
Mhm,
Obviously, like PFP with just the ice crown, I like the
mm,
clean, simple stuff for my
mm.
PFP. Even if I'm using another one that Cole created for me because it's the meme, playing the saxophone and stuff. But I feel like there are traits, specifically the hats, because it's sort of like a top-down approach when you're playing the game. So when you
Yeah.
get to see that, even perhaps with the rice hat as well, it's a good one that you.
Mm.
It's funny because it's so big. We've been talking about like it's a big head and a small body. So when the with the wizard hat, because it's so big, like it looks so cute though, because you can only see like a massive wizard hat just walking around Plooshy Island or riding their skateboard. It's just so cute. I think it's funny, and that's the
Mm.
reason why I like to play with those specific traits. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I feel like um, there might be some other people that you're not mentioning my trait or whatever. It's just I feel like it's so cool. But
Mm.
honestly, like, all of them, like I can't wait. I feel like we as a team as well, we can't wait for people to test it out, to try it
Yeah.
out. I feel like yeah, we just can't wait to see people experiencing that. Obviously, streaming the game, having fun with their friends, because this is a good opportunity to remind people that this is a multiplayer game. So you're gonna be able to play with your friends. Like you're gonna be able to see them as well, whether they're holding a plushie or not. You're gonna be able to be with them, chat with them whilst playing the game. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
I
also
would say, oh, sorry.
uh, I was just gonna add that we definitely need to plan out sort of like a playtest session where like the whole team is just running
Mm,
around menace inside the game.
yeah.
Um, we all bully Foxy because he's not here right now, and we can say whatever we want because he leaked the skateboard yesterday.
I feel like we can publicly say that every single day we bully Foxy, but
Yes, proudly. I'll
yeah.
say that proudly.
Yeah,
No, but
I'd
go ahead.
I'd say also like the game. It's awesome, but this one is like I like games, right? I play
Mm,
video games back too, and I remember back in the day where we would have web games back
Mm,
then, right? Uh,
mm,
and some can be pretty complex, right?
mm,
And what we did here is interesting how we can manage to make this multiplayer open world, right? Where the open world is huge and
mm,
somehow be able to make it work on web. It's like I think that's a technical feat here because like it's I've never found that. I mean, back then, like even if there's MMOs right now, right? There are
mm.
web based, and even
mm.
those are not open world. They're just kind
Yeah,
of like small spaces and then a gate, and then you teleport to another small space, things like
yeah,
that. So
yeah,
I think that's really cool.
yeah. And
Yeah,
add
like
on top
it.
of blockchain.
Sorry, it's funny that you mentioned that because do you remember back then when we were having these combos with the game devs when that even the vision for Plushie Island was way bigger. Like we needed to scale it down a bit, and we came up with what we have so far, which is still pretty big. Like sometimes when you're playing the game, you're like, "Holy shit!" Like this is actually quite big. Like there's so many things to do, so many things to see, and
Mm,
I feel like people, like you said, like it was quite the feat to figure that out in terms of the technical stuff. Because
mm,
for us, it was obviously a learning curve to like, okay, we need to make this a very easy process for people that will play the game. And this is something that I keep telling people whenever I jump on spaces or even when we're doing our streams. We wanted to make it a WebGL game because it's as simple as just go to this website, which is our website. Now, obviously, with Abstract, they can go there too. Just go
mm,
there, click a few stuff, and boom, you're in the game, right? Whereas if we would have gone, like, obviously, people will kind of give us that feedback that, hey, why not being on Epic Games or Steam? Which is, yeah, super cool. Like the game could even look better in terms of the visuals, right? Because now people would have to download stuff, but that requires that people need to download Epic Games or download Steam and go through this whole barrier that there's a niche for those games, like the really cool AAA games. Yeah, go for it. But reminding people that this is a hyper casual game where you're gonna spend a few minutes here and there playing, meeting your friends, going on quests, playing mini games at the arcade. Um, it's as simple as that, and that's just I feel like, and we felt that it was just let's not create barriers where there shouldn't be barriers. If we want to onboard people, like even in Web3 gaming, it's a niche of a niche of a niche, but we really want to onboard more people with this digital experience, like this product, which is Plooshy Island. So yeah, I just wanted to say that again, guys. You're gonna hear us yap a lot. We love to yap, as you can tell.
we can just keep yapping all night. But I mean, I think you said it perfectly there, Bogan. And as someone who's kind of just gotten to experience the game a little bit and kind of run around in it, I'm like blown away.
Mm,
It's not even like whatever the graphics or like like playing it on web based or playing it like downloaded or anything like that. It's just sort of the emotion that you get from it, feeling so
mm.
excited to explore, feeling so excited to just walk around, talk to some, random people within the game, hoping that you can bring your friends in and then do these fun little quests together or just explore together. And like I can say I spent like an hour and a half on the game like last night,
Oh wow.
and I didn't even explore the whole map. Like I couldn't even explore the whole
Yeah.
map. It was insane. Like everywhere I went, I just had something I had to stop and look at. I just had something I had
Mm.
to just like run around in. It was a really cool experience, and I'm already planning to do that again after the stream.
Yeah. But for instance, Godwin can tell you all about that because
Mm,
people need to remember, like, we created like the first iteration of Plushy Island, right? Like that we thought that it was just gonna be this sort of really cool minting experience where people just kind of like go and read the Plushies book, play some mini games, and suddenly you're on Plushy Island. But
mm,
we needed to revamp the whole experience. Like I feel like sometimes people forget that this is not sort of like a copy paster of a game, like using a template and just putting it there and putting some new assets or whatever. This was literally done from scratch. And Godwin
mm,
can tell you by his experience, like creating all of these 3D assets, because they are different. Like it's sort of like a different language of the stuff that he and Cole creates usually, but the stuff that's in the game, like that's entirely different. So yeah, maybe Godwin, you want to tell us a little bit about your experience about creating those assets, how hard it was, um, sweat and tears, like I can tell you.
Yeah,
yes.
obviously. So usually the strategy when making these kind of games, like, especially an open world game, right? If it's large, you're gonna need a lot of assets, and the issue is that with again manpower.
Mm.
And at the time there were like three of us, and we have to make hundreds and hundreds of assets. Obviously, though, we use the usual strategy of finding external assets, buying some assets, then using that. But even then, because of how we have a specific style to the whole brand and the character and the world, right? That we try to follow, and we can't just buy asset and then just pop it in. Even the stuff we buy, we have
Mm,
to work on it. We have to put work on it. We have to change it, portions, texture, especially change everything. So that was hard work. Yeah, it took a lot. Uh, anyway,
I mean, just I can tell a lot of effort was put into the game, and I just what I'm most excited about right now is for the community to be able to try that as well. Because just based on someone who tried it first time, like it's really fun. It's actually exciting, and you can see the effort and blood, sweat, and tears put in by Gwyn here and the rest of the team as well into every single element that's there. So that's definitely something we look forward to, kind of sharing to the rest of the community on this specific topic, talking about the game and everything like that. A lot of people have been asking how they get access to it, what's going to go on, like what's the process behind it and everything. And I also noticed that in the X group chat the other day, people were talking a bit, like trying to understand a bit more on the apartments itself. So, Bogan, why don't we use this opportunity to kind of just do a quick TLDR, what the apartments are, what's happening, kind of like what the purpose of it
Yeah,
is.
of course. I mean, that's a really good question though, because I've seen that even like a few minutes ago, someone was asking about the apartments meet info in our Discord. Uh, the stuff that we are bringing to Abstract is obviously Plushy Island, and we wanted to
Yeah.
start our whole process first with the houses because it's important to mention the houses first so people can understand what the apartments are. So when we minted the houses,
Yep.
and there will only be 454 houses. 10 of them are mansions,
Mm,
and the rest of them go either a medium-sized house or a large house. The thing with the houses is that they will have crystals underneath that people will be able to mine them.
mm,
So that's one of the part of a very important part in our gaming mechanics. Where if let's say that you Bam Bam don't own a house, right? But you still wanna do more fun stuff on Plushie Island for you to be able to collect more Plushie points, which is the off-chain token, like the in-game currency, for you to go to the marketplace and buy items that you will use to decorate your house or other stuff that we will be putting there, or even the pick access to mine these crystals. You come with me and you're like, hey, Bogan, I really want to mine your crystals. And people who own a
mm,
house will be like, okay, you want to mine my crystals? Then you need to pay me with Plushy points for you to be able to mine my crystals.
mm,
Pretty much renting their space for them to utilize it and then get
yeah.
you mine these crystals, you get gems, and then you can swap them for more Plushy points. The cool stuff, if you actually
Mm,
own a plushie, By the way, you don't really require a plushie NFT to play the game. But if you own a plushie,
Mm.
and if you're self staking your plushie, you're familiar with the platform because you're yielding daily plushie points. But if you mine these crystals, then you get another option, which is leveling up your plushie. When you level up your plushie, instead of swapping them for more plushie points, you choose to level up your plushie. Then you enable an
Mm.
extra multiplier on our soft staking platform, meaning that you will be able to yield more plushie points. So we gave some of these houses to
No.
existing community members that have been with us for a very long time because they had, a certain
Mm.
amount of NFTs. We took a snapshot, they got the free houses. But then we know
Mm.
that that's just a small community. Even our community is very small. So our idea of expanding our ecosystem is with these apartments. The apartments are also quite important because there's a need system on Plushie Island. So when I explain Plushie Island, just picture Animal Crossing plus Sims and a little bit of Tamagotchi. Because if your Plushie is tired, the health bar reduces a little bit. So it means that they need to rest. So if you don't own a house
Mm.
because maybe now they're quite expensive, because the apartments will be more affordable. We haven't announced the mean price for the apartments, but it will be very, very affordable. Simply go to your apartment, buy a bed, and then you can rest your plushie. And these apartments, they
Mm.
will pretty much function as the game pass for people to beta test the
Mm.
game. When you beta test the game, you will get early rewards, meaning whether that be plushie points or you will be, obviously, if you just start streaming on Abstract, you will get XP because you're streaming the game. People have been
Mm.
speculating about a potential plushie badge because you're playing Plushie Island. We can't really comment on that at the moment, but people keep saying
Mm.
that. I guess in people's mind, it actually makes sense. But just look at the apartments, like
Mm.
you need it to play the game, and because it's important for your plushie, even if you don't own a plushie, but if it's a guest plushie, you need for your plushie to be, well rested for them to complete more tasks. So that's pretty much the key difference between the houses and the apartments. But it's as simple as look
Mm.
at it as a game pass for you to be able to better test the game before the actual public release. And it's very important to get that feedback from the people who will be holding these apartments because they will be playing the game, they will be having fun and stuff, and then they will give us the feedback of what they think can improve the game, so we can start implementing that
Yeah.
as well once we go with the public release. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I just add that like expanding the ecosystem is something that's very important, right? When you talk about NFT collections, Plooshies has what 3,000 something NFTs. Um,
3,333. Yep.
yeah, so that's an amazing number. We have a strong community, but imagine a game that only has 3,000
Mm.
players. That's not what Plushie Island is. We're expanding that to a whole larger
Yep.
scale. That's where the apartments come in, that's where the houses come in. And hopefully, with that feedback from the beta testing, like Bogan said, we can actually make it something into a game that even retail would like or enjoy. People from anywhere would like to participate. Doesn't have to own an apartment. That's early supporter
Yep.
benefits. That's exclusive free community benefits. But people can still play it, and people can still like achieve different things with Plooshy Island on a much larger scale than just 3,333 that we originally started off with.
Yeah, I mean, we're very excited because even we saw that, bringing more people to our ecosystem via the houses, right? Because we were able to bring people from multiple communities that maybe they were like looking at the Plushies OG collection, but they didn't really know where we were going, or maybe the Plushies were more expensive back then. But now that we're bringing this
Mm.
apartment in and the Plushie Island game and multiple, this is
Mm.
literally just think of it like the digital experience of the Plushies and Plushie Island. Obviously, we're in the
Yeah.
works. Like, I mean, with the team and stuff, like proper IP activations in the physical world, right? So we're gonna be tying
Mhm.
up a bunch of stuff that will be linked to Plushie Island with the IP. So I think people will be happy with it. I'm really looking forward to get their feedback because obviously it's a game that maybe won't be for anyone or for everyone, but it's important to get that feedback, right? Because we really want to get to the point where that we will be able to onboard people who maybe are not related to crypto at all. They just love
Mm.
what we're doing as an IP company with the Plushies, and they're like, oh, far out. Like suddenly I just realized that they have a game, an existing game. I want to try it out. And then slowly but surely we can start putting them like, hey, guess what? This is an NFT collection. This is
Mm,
crypto related. Maybe I want to like get to know a little bit more. Like, how is this an NFT company with the plushies and houses and stuff? So we'll see how it goes. I'm very excited, honestly. I feel like we've been working on this for quite some time. That now that we can see that, the light at the end of the tunnel, it's like, oof, okay, now we're getting started, right? Like we've been doing all this work behind the scenes for people to finally experience that, from obviously from our community, people that have been looking at us since
mm.
2023, and the more people that we will be bringing with the with the IP activations that we will be doing. So yeah.
Bullish. And I just saw Foxy in the comments saying Jesus the leaks. I'll
So
say
you
this.
already leaked the skateboard thingy there.
You
But yeah,
started it, Foxy. You
you started
started
it,
it.
that's it. Yeah. He calls
Now,
himself the man of the people, hey?
yeah, and then he puts two yappers together. He puts like two,
Yeah.
three yappers. Wait, there's no one stopping us.
I
Okay,
mean,
okay, but
technically speaking, I should be the one stopping us, but I don't really want to because we're super excited. Like, guys, honestly, I see that there's like 311 people watching this stream at the moment. Um,
mm,
Hopefully, we can get even more people once we start, playing the game. I can't wait to literally just go to the abstract portal and see people playing Pushy Island and having
yeah.
fun, chatting with their friends, decorating their house, playing mini games, exploring the island. I feel like it's one of those things that people have been waiting for quite a while. So I hope they will be very happy with how things have been going with us. And
Mm.
yeah.
I'm excited for it. And just a quick pause to celebrate. This is our first Asian time zone session, and I'm happy we got 300 listeners in. I'm so proud of us. Thank you for joining, guys. Make this a weekly thing. We will see you guys next week as well. And I noticed we have like about 8 minutes left ish before we
Mm.
hit the 1 hour mark. So guys, I was wondering if we should do some spitfire quick answers to some of the questions that either the team has been memeing, or just actual questions from the community that's also kind of memey. But we can end it off a bit fun. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna say a question, and then I want Gwyn to answer, and then I want Bogan to answer, and then I'll answer, and then we'll move on to the next question. It's gonna be fast, spitfire style. Okay, guys?
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Okay. Number one from TJ: pasta or pizza? Gwyn.
pizza.
Okay, Bogan.
It's as well.
I'd actually say pasta. Okay, 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 okay. Next one from Bogan: pineapple on pizza. Yes or no, Gwyn? This
No.
could make or break friendships. Okay, Bogan.
Pardon my French, but fuck no.
Okay, fuck no as well. Whoever does that, like, I will burn you at the stake. I don't like that's sacrilege. Marley said that's insane. Okay,
Yeah.
guilty pleasure. Gwyn, anything that's PG-13.
Guilty pleasure. PG-13. Wow, this is hard. Coke?
Huh?
Coke?
Oh, but PG-13, as in Coca-Cola, yes?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I keep
Mm,
every time I have a glass of Coke in my hand, someone has to point out that, oh no, that's good. You know
Okay.
that melts a coin, and like stuff. So, like, I feel guilty all the time.
Yeah, fair.
I,
It's funny.
okay.
I don't really like Coke, like at all. Like I don't like any soft drink.
Mm.
So yeah, that's
Ooh,
me.
healthy
But
boy. Healthy boy.
yeah,
Okay, Bogan,
guilty
guilty
pleasure though
pleasure.
for me would be Team Tams. I just love Team Tams. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
maybe not that many people are familiar with Team Tams, but that's an Australian biscuit. It's
Mm.
very typical from Australia. It's so good. Like every time that I get to buy them, even my niece, she's like, "Why do you keep buying them? They're not even that good." And I'm like, "Don't dare to say that. Like they're so good. It's a guilty pleasure." She keeps telling me maybe you're gonna get fat, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe or whatever. I just love Team Tams. It's my guilty pleasure.
I absolutely love Tim Tams as well. Guilty pleasure for me is M&Ms, but specifically
Mm.
the blue ones. Like I will sit there and pick out blue ones if necessary on days that I feel like I just want to, like I need it. I'll pick out the blue ones for the M&Ms. I'm glad we went food. We went with food related stuff. I'm glad we're PG-13. Next up, manga or anime? Gwyn, go.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Okay, Bogan,
Manga.
go.
I'll choose anime.
Okay. My answer is also manga. No hate against anime. One reason is I don't have enough patience to wait for new episodes to come out, so I just end up reading the manga.
In my case, it's because my favorite manga hasn't been translated into anime that much.
Gotcha. Okay, that
First
makes sense.
favorite manga.
Yep.
I feel like for me it was because I got introduced to anime first before knowing
Mm.
that manga was a thing, right? Because pretty much one of the this is gonna tell you like because I'm in my mid-30s, so one of the main animes that literally it was core of my childhood was Dragon Ball and Saint Seiya, which is very fucking old. But dude, I just absolutely love those two. And Captain Tsubasa was the other one, just because I love soccer. Football. Sorry, guys. I know that you're gonna kill me. This is sort of like the Aussie thing, but whatever. Like honestly, those three, and it was just anime for me. And then later on, I got to know more animes, different genres, and then it was like, wait, but everything started with manga first, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I started reading a few of them, but I'm still stick to anime. I'm still gonna stick to that.
Bam, talk about because you're Asia, right? Doraemon.
Yeah. Sorry, Doraemon? Yes, of course. I mean, I started off my childhood with mangas. Doraemon I was reading. Reborn, I don't know if you guys even know that one. I have like so many other ones that was just like manga first, and I didn't even realize they had animes back then. Because the only thing I knew then was Cartoon Network. Like
I,
yeah.
I was expecting because like Southeast Asia would all have Doraemon on Sunday mornings.
Yes,
So-
yes. You would, but I lived in Thailand, and when I was a kid, I didn't understand Thai. Like I only started speaking Thai when I was 12. So
Oh
any
wow.
any sort of cartoons that was on like the TV, I couldn't understand, and I just manga
I know.
had like English translations, or
Yeah.
it was all in Japan and Japanese, and I just couldn't understand anyways.
Okay.
So that's kind of the story behind it.
Let's. Are there any other questions though? Let me read the chat.
I will ask one last question, and I think this one is going to offend so many people.
Okay.
But it's it's definitely another guilty pleasure. So Foxy asked, beer with ice or without? Gwyn,
Oh
go.
my goodness. That's
What was it?
come
Beer
on.
with ice or without?
The first part I can't hear you. Bear
Beer, like just beer,
Beer.
with ice or not? No.
Yeah.
No.
Bogan, go.
I didn't even know people would put ice on their beers. What is that? Oh my goodness! If you guys do that, I can't trust you. Like honestly, I just can't.
Okay, so
no, that's a. Yeah.
I have to take my glasses off for this one because it's so serious. But last year, around this time, Foxy was here in Thailand celebrating Songkran with us. And he learned one thing about the Thai culture, which is we drink beer with ice.
Oh my goodness!
It's
Don't tell me that.
no, the weather's so hot here that like it just gets warm right away. Like within 5 minutes, it's warm. Like the beer is warm. It's just wet everywhere. It's like like not good. So what Thai people do is we always put at least like a chip of ice into our beer when we drink.
Wow.
Here I am, and we don't do that.
Yeah.
Thai people absolutely loved it, and I mean, I forced Foxy to drink a glass as well, and he was so upset.
I can totally picture Foxy's face when he was drinking that beer.
So the pure look of disgust that was on his face. Like
Lol.
I can't like outlive it. It's haunting my memories.
That's
Oh,
hilarious. Oh my goodness. But
definitely gonna get that one.
yeah, guys, I don't want to cut you off because we could continue yapping, but I'm just gonna leak some alpha. We actually have a very important meeting in like 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, because obviously you guys, there's a bunch of stuff coming our way related to the apartment meet, related to Plooshy Island. So we have a very important meeting with the abstract team. Um, so yeah,
Oh,
guys, honestly, if you guys were bullish before we actually introduced the expanded team and the stuff that we've been doing, I feel like this is the time for also you guys to put pressure on us to tell us everything that you feel about what we've been doing so far. Like I said, we're kind of like in this process of restructuring a bunch of stuff related to the Plooshies with the expanding team and bringing new skill set, bringing new people like Bam Bam, for instance, introducing someone who's been with us for a very long time, like Godwin. But yeah, guys, this is the time we really are ready to lock in and show you guys what the plushies are. So exciting times, bullish, and yeah. Other than that, if you guys have anything else to say before we go, for me, just guys, I appreciate your time. 328 people so far. Thanks. You guys could have been somewhere else, and you chose to be with us today. So thank you for that, and cheers.
um,
You.
thank you so much, guys, for being here. I know Plooshies has had like two spaces so far before this, and then we have one back to back right now. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for just chilling with us and listening to us yap for a bit. Moving forward with next week, we'll also have some cool like live art sessions with Gwen here. We're gonna adapt more to like the Asian time zone as well. Engage more with the peeps on this side, while the regular live streams and everything with Bogan will still be active too. So, all in all, just finding different ways to communicate with the community. Thank you for having us, and please don't judge me for the whole ice and beer thing. Just fly over to Thailand, and I'll show you that it's actually okay. Yeah, but that's from me, guys. Thank you so much. Gwyn, go ahead.
Yes, this is probably this is the second time, right? I'm in this space, so yeah, I think it'll be cool next week when I can start showing like a bit of the work process, and bit of spoiler. It's quite chaotic. Yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone again next week.
Amazing, amazing, and yeah, guys, thanks again for your time, and we'll see you next week with another session with Godwin and Bam Bam, and get ready for another streaming session with Cole on Thursday. We'll be announcing who will be our guest in the coming days. So yeah, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. See ya.